We're live. Michael, welcome, everybody. $3 parlay, week 14. We made it. We didn't think we would.
We're
They said
here.
we wouldn't do it, but we're here.
We are here. I'm here personally. I'm recording in a new studio. We got upgraded. Um, as you can see, we're no longer in the old $3 parlay studio. Our sponsor came through and gave us a little bit of an upgrade. Um, and I'm excited. Obviously they recognize my talents, what I did this week, which we'll go through, and they treated me appropriately. They got me with these Cam Newton
Look at
hats
all
in
those
the background.
hats.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be dressing like Cam Newton every day, at least 6 days.
Well, I think we need you to at least dress like Cam Newton for next week, because clearly
All right.
neither of us are naked for this episode. But I think that's got to be your thing now. On if you've got the
Okay.
money and the sponsors are coming through, it needs to be a Cam Newton thing every week.
All right. We're in. We're in. Let's lock it in for these last few weeks. Let's see. So I know we talked about it a little bit last week. Yeah, there we go on the scoreboard. Can I get to that 3-digit mark? Can I get to the $100 mark? I was doing the math. I'm on pace to actually reach the 100 mark, but I'm going to need to hit at least 60%, 80%. If I can get a 100% week again, then I'm going to be looking really pretty. But yeah, things are looking great for me. I'm happy. Again, went back to an 80% week. Put up another little bit of a buffer between you and I. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, looking here at your numbers that you had, the only bet that you missed on was the one that you actually put $1 on.
Right.
So it was really impressive, as much as it pains me to say, how you hit on all these. Yeah,
Yeah, and you know what?
I don't know how I'm going to catch you.
This might have been my best week I've ever had. That's even with me having a 5 for 5 week in the past,
Yeah,
because a lot of these games, and I was texting you on Saturday and Sunday, went exactly as I called them.
yeah,
Duke versus Miami was well under. Not really the way that I expected, with just one team scoring all the points.
right.
But still, both teams had a great looking defense. And again, you know, I love this pick, and I might even do it some more. Indiana to score first. Was that the most fun that either one of us has had?
Well, okay, so it was fun for both of us, but you made the bet, but weren't like able to actually watch the game. Whereas I was
Yeah,
glued to this game. This
I
this
was.
was the best worst game I've ever watched.
And
Uh,
the best part was that it wasn't until the second quarter when
oh
there
my
was.
god, it was so bad, and like they would get close to scoring, and then just stall out and punt it. It was wild. That was just such an awful game. Um, I can't believe that's how it went down. And then I was getting a little excited there for the Eagles Packers game. We both thought that would be a really easy cover for you, outside of the fact if Jalen Hurts came into the game. He did, and he looked pretty good. And I was hoping that that was going to be some sort of backdoor cover that came through, but the Eagles suck. They're
It got
one of the
close
worst
for a
teams.
second. It did get close for a
Yeah.
second. Green Bay ended up scoring at the very end to make it look more lopsided. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of concern there going on. But again, I want to take a second to pat myself in the back, because all four of the games where I really felt good about, excluding the Boston College game at the end, went exactly as I predicted. And
Yeah.
that was fun. It was a great week for me. I'm happy. I'm glad my sponsors are recognizing it.
Yeah, well, we'll go over here to the other side. Looking at these, they did not hit. The Cleveland Titans one was a pretty quick. I think within the first 5 minutes, that was over 53 points. Saints Falcons. Falcons had a shot there at the end to win it. Of course, they didn't, because that makes no sense as to why they would. Bills 49ers and that Indiana Wisconsin game came out and really kept me afloat. I'm glad that I kind of went $2 down the board. I wish I would have put my money where my mouth was and put Indiana at money line. But I think we have to take a second here to stop and just look at probably the biggest bet and hit we've had in the history of this entire podcast. You heard it here first, that
That's
you
correct.
needed to take
Yeah.
the Bills money line, and you also need to take the Washington football team money line against the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And at 275 odds, I put $10 down and 37.50. I mean, they come to me. The tastiest picks of the week, they come to me. I wish I had more faith in putting real money on them up here in the top 5, but sometimes you got a thing and you got to go with it.
Yeah, I mean this was a Golden Corral, all you can eat Sunday after service tasty pick. I mean, there was
Yeah.
no end in sight, I mean, I was going back for seconds, thirds. You were there. I don't think we left till they closed down. It was so
No.
tasty. And
No.
I mean, it's great, I mean, we really do need to hang our hat on this pick.
Hats. Multiple hats.
Yes.
Yeah. So, as they say, saucy like a barbecue, but you won't get your baby back. So week 13's in the books. We're here at week 14, and let's get to it. We've already gone through, and you've actually got your first pick locked in. We did that for recording purposes. I hope that the Patriots are up by about 14 right now because you ended up taking, well, I'll let you say it.
Yeah, so I wanted to take this Thursday night game. I know that I've been burned by it in the past, but it's going to be New England at Los Angeles Rams, and I'm going to take Los Angeles Rams -5 at -110 odds.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this game is not so much about the Rams. I know it's at home. The Rams have looked strong in the past few weeks, but New England is just a bread and butter, good 500 team. That's what they're going to be. They're going to win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, go on a 2-game win streak, go on a 2-game losing streak. That's New England right now. And do I expect them to be able to travel across the country, literally coast to coast, against a very good Rams team in recent weeks, play on a short week? No, I don't at all. I think the Rams are going to cover this easily. Wanted to make sure that I got this in with my first pick. So 5 points, less than a touchdown, feeling good about it.
Yeah. Well, it is worth noting, though, that I think somebody took it must have been something different with the Pats. Pats put up, about 48 on the Chargers?
45, I want to say. Yeah, 45. Somewhere in that window, yeah.
Yeah, not good, not good. So the Pats might actually be onto something. We'll see. This is a repeat of the Super Bowl matchup from a couple of years ago. That was probably one of the best offensive games I've ever seen.
Is anybody still on either one of those teams? I mean, Jared Goff, I guess. But
Jared Goff.
I mean, New England, they're a 500 team. They're going to finish the season 8-8. They're 6-6 right now. I don't see them getting anywhere close to having any chance at winning this game on the road.
Yeah. We'll see. I've got it pulled up here on the side, so we'll keep tabs on it as the game goes on throughout the podcast. But to shift gears over here a little bit, I think I'm going to start with some college football. I think I'm going to start with some college football. I'm going to take, and this is going to sound so weird for me to actually say this, I'm going to take Georgia at Missouri.
Ooh, okay. I'm curious where you're going to go with this because I looked at that.
Over 53.
Interesting. Okay.
I think this is going to be an offensive battle back and forth. Georgia finally has a quarterback that can actually sling the ball downfield and get to those 5-star wide receivers. And Missouri's ranked in the top 25, which blew me away. They've looked really good on offense, a lot better than I thought they were even going to be as a team coming into the year. Georgia doesn't really have anything to play for, so I think their defense is going to not show up. They didn't show up last time.
I'm wondering how you were going to address everything that you said for the past 14 weeks about Georgia having one of the best defenses. So I was curious if you went over.
So, and I'm pulling it up right now because it's been like 2 weeks since they played last. But, yeah, I mean, against South Carolina and against Mississippi State, Georgia's defense didn't look good. Mississippi State almost beat Georgia. And that was with a Mississippi State team that had less than, I think, 50 players on the team. Like, they could have said, hey, we don't want to play this game, and it would have been all right. And there's nothing that the SEC could have done. Their defense hasn't looked as good. I think a lot of the players, now that they've lost to Florida, have checked out or ready for the draft. Whereas the offense was tired of me picking on them this entire time. They got JT coming in, slinging the ball, looking really good. I think this is going to be back and forth. I think 53 is pretty easy.
So that'd be 26 about each team. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I could see it. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to stay in the NFL because I've been doing much better in that department. Go ahead and give me Kansas City at Miami.
Hmm.
The line is going to be Kansas City -7, minus a full touchdown. And I'm going to have a little bit of juiced odds here at -115.
Okay.
This is Kansas City. I mean, look at what they've done the past few weeks, dominating. I know that Miami is one of the best defenses over the entire season this year, but this isn't just your average offense. This is the number 2 top scoring offense in the league behind the Green Bay Packers. And to be honest, I don't think that the Miami offense is going to be able to keep it anywhere close. Even if Kansas City gets held to 28 points, is Miami going to be able to score 21? Kansas City's a sneaky defense, and I think that this is going to probably be closer to 11, 12, 13 points.
So I liked this game a lot too. I had it going just the other way of just over on the overall 49.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at as well. I don't know. Can Miami get their points? I mean, 49, if Kansas City gets 30, can Miami get 19, or get 20, right,
Yeah.
to make it, to push it over? I felt more comfortable just laying the points with Kansas City than trying to take that over. Yeah, I was back and forth. I'm glad you said that because the odds were a little bit better.
Yeah.
But again, I felt really good about -7.
There's something about Brian Flores coaching Miami where when they play the teams that are expected to score a lot of points, he's able to keep them in check pretty well. Like you saw it against the Rams earlier this year with that big upset. I don't know. There's just something weird about this game, especially with it being in Miami.
Flores was on the field last week fighting during
Yeah.
that giant brawl with the Bengals. I mean, I'm all for that. I think that Miami team is scrappy. They're nasty. But again, this is not just your average offense. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care that it's on the road. I don't care that it's against a very good Miami defense that does really well with turning the ball over. Again, I mean, Kansas City's probably going to score 35 points.
Yeah.
I don't see Miami being able to score anywhere close to 28.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, again, if Miami gets the turnovers that they have in the past 13 weeks, then I'm going to look really dumb. But I don't see Miami getting a single turnover. This Chiefs offense is good. Yeah.
See, that's what you should have taken then.
Oh.
No turnovers.
Oh, see, I don't want to keep doing those gadgets. That was too much excitement.
All right. Let's see here. I think for my next one, I'm gonna go to the NFL, just like you have.
Yep.
I'm gonna double down on Steelers. I got Steelers at the Bills. And I'm taking the Bills -2, which is absolutely insane to me that it's only 2.
This game is at the Bills. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
With -105 odds.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Like the Steelers, it was a great story. They were undefeated, and everybody wanted to talk about how great they were. They've got a great defense. Their offense is shit. There's just no other way to describe it.
They can't run the ball. They cannot run the ball at all. Their wide receivers, they probably have the best 1-2-3 wide receiver combo in the league. I mean, would you say who would be 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3. Like you have to put the 3 in.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put the 3 in. And for me, the Steelers number 3 is Deontay Johnson, and then you have Claypool and Juju as 1 and 2.
Is Juju still in the league? Is he still playing?
He's been horrible.
And that's kind of my point. Is I would take the Falcons, and that's not me trying to be a homer.
Okay.
That's me saying that Julio's probably the best wide receiver we've seen since Calvin Johnson. Yeah. Calvin Ridley's up there. You could put Russell Gage as your number 3, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean the fall off there is pretty stark compared to the fall off between the Steelers 1, 2, and 3. That's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, but again, I mean, yeah, this is a good line. I do like this pick. Bills -2. The Steelers, yeah, I mean, I think you hit it right on the head. The Steelers had a great story, but then you break down kind of how they're winning these games against backups and
bad teams.
yeah.
So
The Steelers are a good team. You know, I don't want to take it away from them.
they are.
They're not a 13 and or what is it, 12-1 or whatever their record is. They're
Yeah,
not
no.
that good.
And they've come through all the adversity of COVID and everything, and that's great. It's a good story, but
Right.
they're certainly not a good team. I think if they played a tougher schedule, they'd be, right along the lines with everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really conflicted here. I'm not going to do it, even though I want to. I'm going to skip over this Green Bay game. Go ahead and give me New Orleans at Philadelphia. I'm going to take New Orleans -7, and that's going to be even odds.
I like that. I have that.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get with New Orleans. Obviously, their quarterback or tight end or whatever you want to classify him
He's a quarterback now. He's officially thrown a passing touchdown. He's a quarterback now.
All right. So their quarterback is their big question mark. But this Philadelphia team is bad. They looked a lot better with Jalen Hurts under center, and obviously we know that Jalen Hurts is announced as the starter. I just don't see him being successful against a New Orleans defense. This New Orleans, and I've been saying this like every week for the past 4 weeks, this New Orleans defense is very good. Ever since they got Quan Alexander in the trade from the 49ers, they've been a top 5 NFL defense. I know, crazy, right? 7 points in the National Football League, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how Jalen Hurts in his first ever start is going to do against a strong defense, which is why, the spread is a full touchdown. But man, I mean, New Orleans is a good team. They're not second in the NFC for nothing.
I don't know. Watching them play this last weekend, I still think they're, a top 4 team in the NFC.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
With Taysom Hill at quarterback, I don't see them being that team that you can sit there and be like, "Yep, they're gonna win. They're gonna win handily."
Oh
because
yeah, no.
awful.
I mean, no. If you're talking, conference championship or whatever you want to call it, no, I'm not picking New Orleans. But this Philadelphia Eagles team is so bad. They're so bad.
It's at Philly.
That might work against them. Are you kidding me? Those Philly fans, it might work against the Eagles. The last thing you want to do is play in front of those fans. They're gonna tear Jalen Hurts and the coach's heads off if he does bad.
Taysom Hill's not gonna. It's gonna be too cold for him. He's not gonna be playing in the dome.
He's from Utah. That's the same latitude.
It's not. It's just trust me. Just trust me. I've talked myself into this one, even though I had New Orleans -7 at even odds on my sheet. All right, let's see here. I think, man. So obviously the Big Ten's already been decided. Big Ten commissioner came out and basically said, "Hey, we're going to give it to Ohio State. It doesn't matter. We probably don't even need to play the games. You guys don't want to see the games, right?" People were pretty pissed about it. And I got a team that's really pissed just in general with things not going the way that they thought they were going to go this year. With as close as this game is, I got Wisconsin, Iowa. I got Wisconsin money line. I'm going to check these odds on that. I'm going to check these odds on that.
Man, this is tough. This is tough. Because you would think you'd have a little bit better. It might be one of those where the spread is like -1, so they just give you.
No, never mind. I had it written down wrong. It's -135 in Bovada, and that's not. I thought it was a lot closer. So I'm not going to do that one, but I tell you what I will do, because this is one of the most fun games that I've ever been to, and if you ever get the chance to go to it, I highly recommend doing it. It's Army Navy, but I have to write it as Navy at Army, and I'm taking Army -7. At -115.
Okay. I have no comments on this, so I want to hear yours.
Yeah, so you've got 2 teams that more or less run variations of the triple option.
Right.
But ever since I went to the game in 2017, after Navy had won like 15 straight games, Army won, and Army has won since then. And from what I've seen, Navy is not the normal Navy self. And Army's just going to run away with this.
Now, I thought the rule of thumb with this series was you always take the under. The under is cashed in like the last 7 or 8 contests.
Yes. On this one, though, it seems like, well, I don't know. You always take the under, but I don't know. There's just I think there's gonna be a lot of points.
Okay.
It's gonna be a lot of running touchdowns. It's gonna be high variance plays where basically they're just off the races, 30, 40, 50-yard bursts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All
So,
right. Well, clearly Pepper really likes that pick.
Pepper loved it. That's her pick. She was so excited that I took her advice and took that pick.
Let's see here, man. So the other 2 games that I have are both going over. I don't like either one of them. One of them's Minneapolis at Tampa Bay, going over 52. I'm not going to go with that one. Go ahead and give me this other one. It's the Monday night, Baltimore at Cleveland Browns, over 47.0, and that's minus 110 odds. I mean, look, and this really has a lot to do with your Titans pick last week. The Browns scored touchdowns, not how anybody expected them, right? We said that it was going to be a on the ground. All of a sudden, Baker Mayfield's throwing. Was it 4? It was 28-0 in the second quarter. I think he had 4 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm shaking my head because you're taking the easy way out on this one. And you should be taking Browns money line for plus 110. It's a 2-point spread, I think. I'll have to go back and look. I mean, the Browns have looked better at their top end than the Ravens have this year. And with it being a home game.
You know what? Give it to me. You convinced me. Go ahead. Give it to me. Right. Give me Cleveland money line. You said it was plus 110.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead and give it to me.
And like, if you think it's going to be a high scoring game, that is what it is. But if you think that it's going to be, the Browns doing their thing and you believe in them from last week, that's what I had it at. Of just, this is an easy way to get a positive odds on a money line and feel good about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Ravens, not just their team, but it's their team chemistry. Their whole season has been out of whack.
Yeah.
From COVID and rescheduling and all that. And I think that's taken a toll on them. Meanwhile, the Browns are the hottest that they've been in, what's the stat? Like 17 years, they're finally going to have a positive season, clinch the playoffs. It's something like that. Like, the momentum on this Browns team is astronomical. And it's not that they're a good team, but just the city of Cleveland hasn't had a football team this successful in so long. And I think, like you said, it being at home, I'm talking myself into it more and more. I love it.
Dog pound coming out to play.
Yeah. Woof, woof, woof.
Woof, woof. Well, since you took that bet, I'm now hoping that it doesn't cover.
Thanks.
Wait, let's see here. This is tough. These are tough. It's like Vegas knows what it's doing. I tell you what. Earlier we talked about the tastiest pick of the week and how it's just been phenomenal. I think there's been one week where I haven't hit it, and I'm going to go back and do some digging on the amount of money that's been made on those, because they're typically, upsets. Really nice positive bets.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and nibble on this one right here, and I'm kind of surprised that the line is where it is, but I'm taking this heavyweight matchup of UNC at Miami.
Oh, no. And you're taking UNC money line. I had the same thing. That was going to be my 5th pick at 125. Yeah. At
125.
Good pick.
I feel like this is going to be a toss-up.
I like it.
And with it being that close, Miami's Miami. They suck. You always think they're back, and they're not. And UNC's building for something where next year they're going to come in and try to compete to actually be in the ACC championship game, I think.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, Miami lives and dies by their defense, right? I mean, their offense is good. We've kind of seen it. De'Aaron King's hit a plateau from where he was to start the season. If Miami defense shows up, then I think they have enough to stop the rushing and the passing game that UNC has. But I just don't see that happening. And I think that UNC's two-headed rushing and Sam Howell under center is gonna at least bring this game into a shootout. And who do I trust more in a shootout?
Honestly, probably Miami. They're probably better equipped for it.
No, I don't think so. I think UNC has shown that they can win in the shootout games.
Shootout games. Okay. Sorry. I was thinking you meant actual shootouts.
Oh, right.
Because that easily would be Miami.
You're right.
So Tasty's pick of the week. Get your fork, get your knife, cut into this one.
You're love it. Yeah, that was going to be my fifth pick. Now I'm kind of scrambling here. Jeez.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Let's see. Well,
you didn't want to take the Florida State game?
I have it written down. I was going to take the under. I might put that in my parlay. I think I will. Go ahead. You know what? This hasn't hurt me yet, and I'm just going to keep – it's like in roulette.
Famous last words.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to hurt me this week. You just keep betting a color until your color hits. You know, if it hits red, you just double down on black. And then if it hit reds again, you just double down again. And eventually it's going to hit black, right? You might be $200 in the hole, but you double your money back, right?
I mean, statistically, no, but sure, go ahead.
Well, I mean, greens don't count. Go ahead and give me Alabama at Arkansas. Alabama minus 32.0. And this is minus 110 odds.
Okay.
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, this bet comes down to if Arkansas can score 2 touchdowns, right? Because if they score 14, then is Alabama going to be able to score 50? Maybe.
They can.
But, yeah, they can. Yeah. If Arkansas scores 10 or scores 7, or scores 6,
right,
it's done. It's done. It's, to me, that 14-point mark is kind of the gray area. If Arkansas scores 17, I think that it's game over. You take Arkansas plus 32. I just don't see it happening. I mean, Nick Saban's got them in championship mode. And you saw what their offense did. Deontay Smith caught video game numbers like 300 yards and 4 touchdowns or something crazy in the first half. Like it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. 32 points.
Browns Titans game.
Yeah, seriously. 32 points is way more than I'm comfortable with unless it's Alabama.
I've got some weird galaxy brain shit going on right now where Alabama blew out and maybe blew out Kentucky, blew out LSU, beat Auburn pretty handily. And this is the kind of shit where like Nick Saban's going to be like, we're not going to like run it up too much. We got to get ready for the SEC championship game. We got to, give a bad game script out there so that Florida's got something to look at. And it's not going to be like a close game, but I feel like Arkansas is going to be able to keep it in there just because Nick Saban will allow him to.
I don't know. I mean, this game is going to be decided in the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, don't even turn the game on until the last.
Until then.
Yeah, because that's when this spread's you're going to be sweating it because Alabama's going to be up 40-10, and you need Arkansas to stall out 3-0, and then Alabama to go down and hit like a 60-yard touchdown, like something ridiculous. Don't just yet. I mean, TiVo.
Just don't even turn it on until
TiVo. The last 8 minutes. That's all you need to see. It's like NBA. It's like regular season NBA. Just watch the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Because the last 2 minutes of action will end up taking about 35 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Let me switch over here. For my last pick, boy, I don't know if it's something about what you just said about when you go gamble at the roulette table and you're betting on colors, And it's like, if it's red, you're gonna go black. And I didn't follow any of the logic because, from like an actual math standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. But you just kept saying red, and I really like that. I like the color red right now.
Once you go red, you don't go back. That's what
and
I always say.
As we've seen from my picks lately, I'm a lot of red when it comes to the result.
You are.
But I see a lot of green on this pick, and I'm taking Rutgers at Maryland.
That's a lot of red.
These are two of my favorite teams right here. This is just going to be such a fun game to watch. I got the over at 58.
Wow.
These are the two new bloods, so to speak, in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You give it another 2 years, and these are going to be the top two programs. There's no other way around
that in. Actually, can we get odds on that?
I will send a note off to Vegas and see if we can get odds on that.
Okay.
Because that's worth taking your 401k out and putting it all down right there.
I mean, I want an 802k because I'm pretty much doubling it.
That's I'm with you there. I don't know. I think Rutgers didn't look good last week, but both of these teams have pretty decent offenses that can score.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Defenses, and I think they'll be able to run the score up here pretty easily.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good pick. And what were the odds on that again? -110.
-110.
So yeah, right where you want it. All right, so let's break this down a little bit. I'll go first. I do not know the score of this Pats Rams games. Don't please. And I'm gonna do my same thing. Give me a $3 max on my first pick, and now you can pull it up if you like it. Let's see.
You're looking good. Rams are up 10-0.
Perfect. I love that. Give me $2 on Kansas City.
How many? Two?
Two. Yeah, two. I will do, that leaves me with $5 between the two. Give me $1.50 on New Orleans, Philly.
Wow.
Give me $1.50 on Browns money line, and then that puts me at, where am I?
You're at $8. So you got two more.
$8. So let's go ahead. Let's do $1.50 on this one, and then bring up my Browns money line to an even 2.
Okay.
And round it out there. Okay, so then that puts me at, what's my value?
We're gonna have to do a lot of math here on this one.
Oh, right, because I have 2 positive odds. Well, my even should be $1 to win, or $1.50 to win. It'll be even money.
It should be 3.
And then it'll be 220. You just,
420.
It'll be 220.
Nice.
420. Yeah.
3.
All right, so that's good. Yeah, I'm happy where that is. That's nice.
That's pretty nice. Let's go over here. Boy, I'm dropping a max on the Steelers and Bills game. And then I'm dropping down here and dropping a 2 on UNC Miami.
I like it. Yeah, I do. I like that a lot. You got to make up some money here. I'm
going to drop a 2 on Rutgers, Maryland.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take $2.50 on this.
So that leaves you barely anything on your first pick.
Is this recording right? 6. This is not correct. Is it?
Should be.
Hold on. I don't know what happened when I did this earlier today. All right, so you got $5.50, $7.50, $9.50. So that should only be 50 cents. Okay, I don't know what the hell this was doing down here. Let me change Navy and Army to $1.50, and I'll do $1.50 on Georgia, Missouri.
Okay. And that puts you at. So yeah, I don't know what.
For right now, I'll put that at 5 or somewhere in there. I need to find the math on that. It'll be about the same.
Okay. Yeah, looks good.
So let's drop down to our parlay. What are you dropping in for game number 1?
Let's see. I want to take Duke at FSU.
Yep.
It's going to be under 57 at -110. And then for the second leg, go ahead and give me, you know what? Give me Kansas City at Miami. Kansas City -7.
I'm down on that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll double down. I don't want my parlay Thursday night game. Sorry, I don't. There we go.
Sorry, you were
That's okay.
looking so close into the camera that I wanted to just make you the entire shot, and
Perfect.
I kept removing you on accident. So
Yeah,
screwed
I
that
don't.
up.
I don't want my parlay to also be busted if this Thursday night game goes bad because that already happened to me once, and
That's
it
fair.
really, really sucked. So yeah, at
Yeah,
least I can keep my parlay alive until the weekend. I'm actually super excited about my picks here. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I'm coming for that $100.
That's not a good sign
No, no,
in my
I'm I'm
experience.
I'm I'm coming for that
Oof.
$100.
Ooh, there he is. I got Kansas City at Miami as well. However, I'm
Okay.
taking the over 49
Okay.
at minus 110. And then I think this other one here, man, I'm they keep screwing me every single damn week, but it's like a drug.
Is it Baltimore?
I'm taking LSU at UF,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I'm taking LSU plus 23.
Really?
Doesn't make it doesn't make any sense.
I hate this for you. I really do.
Florida hasn't looked that good lately.
But look what LSU just got demolished by Alabama. How do you think that morale is going to be?
This is a totally different game. This is a rivalry game.
And LSU Alabama isn't?
It's a different sense. Like LSU Alabama is at least, hey, we play you guys every year, and one team. This LSU UF thing goes way beyond this, where it was the whole hurricane thing and having to reschedule games. This is a rescheduled game of that, and like
Okay.
the athletic directors hate each other. It's the pettiest shit you've ever seen. You expect it because it's Florida. They do it to everybody. I got a feeling that this LSU team is tired of getting the shit beat out of them, and not that they're going to win, but I think they'll be able to keep it pretty close because Florida's defense has been absolute trash, and they're going to get this shit beat out of them in the SEC championship game. I think LSU's going to be able to hang some points on them.
So you think this is a look-ahead game for UF?
I think it's a look-ahead game for UF because they're looking at LSU of just what you said of how they got beat by Alabama, and they're trying to plan of how can they upset Alabama to potentially make it into the playoffs. And LSU's got nothing to lose, and I think Coach O is going to be coming after.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about it. Look, if anything else, there's one thing Louisianans know how to do, and that's hunt gator.
You've got a great point there. You've got a great point.
So we'll see. It's got a little nice juice there on the odds, but I don't know. Look, I mean, that's why they play the games. If we knew what they were going to be, we probably wouldn't have betting, and then life would be a lot more sad.
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
No. So I think that's all we got right here. Anything else you want to close with before we sign off?
No, that looks good. That looks good. I think I'm a Roberts. Oh, Santa's coming in. Hello, Santa.
Santa?
Santa's busting in.
Does Santa have any picks in his sack?
Santa, do you have any locks? He's shaking his head. No, he doesn't have any
No.
locks. I guess we've been on the naughty list.
Oh man. Well, maybe next week we'll have a special guest from Santa, and he can give us some picks out of his old bag of toys. But
that's what's on my Christmas list. What are the week 14 locks?
Santa, I need a $3 parlay, please.
Yeah.
Leave it under the tree. Well, we got 14 in the books. We'll get these picks put in, and we'll catch you back here next week.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.